is calling on province to make it mandatory to wear masks in enclosed spaces where physical distancing is not possible.
Layers on that additional protection for everyone.
Vaughan Mayor Mauricio Bevilacqua says he too would support the idea of making masks mandatory in Ontario.
I think you should take all necessary precautions to safeguard your own life and also the lives of others.
Ministry of Health spokesperson Haley Jason says they just a stone's throw away from Halton region.
I'm hearing a very mixed reaction to this question.
Well, I thought the CRI would have this one.
Would you take your money?
Is it a big hair? I swear, this is the woman's words.
Not this guy, though. He's hometown proud.
Oh, I don't clickbait, except I tell you, how to make $1 trillion off clickbait. Right? I used to hashtag clickbait. How to get rich. Placing advertisements in magazines. You don't know these pages. Send me your money and I'll place it. Yeah, something illegal, don't it? Or you just say Airborne. Really? Because droplets don't float. You ever see fog and the droplets are floating up in the air? You ever see somebody vaporize and it goes like 50 feet away and the big cloud rising? Yeah.
All I know is around here, it's cold at night. There ain't no food in the fridge. Mama doesn't get paid this week. Yeah,
I drank 6 days, but I did not touch the split because I'm a realist.
How many times God don't answer me? These cold streets, only thing that welcomes me. Yeah, I'm listening to my heartbeat.
That's still
getting high, smoking weed. I hit the blunt, pass it to my dead homie. Sometimes it takes me a minute to realize that you ain't there. Spend a lot of time talking to myself like you're still here. Only thing I can do is pour my liquor on and send you my prayer. Just another day, living in the water. Just another day around the way. Today, I die today. Just another day, living in the water. Just another day around the way.
181 new COVID-19 patients reside. Epidemiologist Colin Ford tells the Toronto Star that he needs to establish where these new cases are coming from, and until it does, it should remain in stage 1. Reporting live.
Down the street saying, give me what you got. Little homie pushed the back. He hustled hard to get that watch, so he refused to give me that one shell from the clutch.
Doing in a violent arrest. Caught on video. It happened in 2018 outside Lakeridge Health Ajax in Pickering Hospital. Janelle Massive, City News, has more from the couple's lawyer. The couple, who are both black in their late 60s at the time of the event, say they were leaving the hospital after or not feeling well. The officers were there for something unrelated, but according to police, hospital staff asked officers to, quote, intervene in a disturbance regarding the elderly couple, end quote. In the video, you can see multiple officers struggling with the couple on the ground. The couple is now suing Durham police, alleging wrongful arrest and assault.
They had not committed a crime. They did not have a weapon. They were simply trying to leave the hospital.
Now, in a statement to City News, the force says a different police service.
I can't get in the fucking house. You see how these people operate?
That, quote, allegations of wrongdoing raised by the complainants were unsubstantiated. Police had charged Livingston Jeffers with his self-related charges, but they were later dropped. You can view the entire video on our website at 680news.com.
Governments to speed up their efforts to help communities across the greater Toronto and Hamilton area in their recovery from the financial fallout of the COVID-19 pandemic.
We're counting on Prime Minister Trudeau and Premier Ford, both of whom they have indicated their understanding of this problem and their willingness to help. They have to come to some kind of an understanding sooner than later, because we then need to move forward as cities and towns to show the kind of stability and strength necessary to produce a strong recovery.
You're a moron.
Tory announcing last month that the
cards
pandemic could leave Toronto with as much as a $1.5 billion budget shortfall. And without help from the upper levels of government, the city would need to take make drastic service cuts, or hike property taxes by as much as 47%.
The TTC planning to give out free Presto cards this summer in an effort to bring people back to the public transit amid the pandemic. The TTC says this aims to encourage customers to use Presto with the company, and they're looking to give out the cards in areas of the city where Presto use is low. Customers can keep paying with cash and tickets for the foreseeable future. Since the start of the pandemic, there has been an 86% decline in ridership across the TTC, which has resulted in a weekly $20 million deficit in revenue.
You have a contract with the card provider.
Being
you don't keep buying them.
COVID-19 pandemic.
You have to buy them anyway. So.
And the Oscar goes to
Hollywood's biggest night, usually held in February, but not next year. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences and ABC announcing Monday that the 2021 show will be postponed 2 months to April 25th.
What's the next tombstone if they come I'll be your own? Cause someone please explain. For some reason, even though the sun's shining over here, it still rains. Lord, forgive me for my evil ways. I fear I'll never change. I'll always be this way. For some reason, we just gotta learn the hard way. I Paul Patch from Selkirk to Broadway. I'll be repping for my city every day, all day. From your black flag cup, if you feel me. It's gang life, motherfucker, till they kill me. Kill me.
Dr. Kulak. I don't know how to spell that.
Just another day living in the road. Today.
Oh, fuck.
Just another day.
How do you pronounce the letter L? How do you pronounce that? Really? There's no vowels? Why do we write Micmac with the Roman alphabet? We just switch to Cyrillic to make more sense. Duh. Yeah. Lotto Boots. I love you, Boots. Lotto Boots.
Yeah. Gang like that.
Everything the dog needs to do is in the front. Why is the gown open in the back?
I'm driving my motivations, no tolerance for the short of patience. Skip golden, I collect money. Shit that got me dreaming robberies. When pops left, it was the clock that fathered me. Got a problem, open weapon, this how you saw me, this what it taught to me. And it's how your face don't bother me. Put me in the direction where the bottom be. Guess that's just how I was born to be. Some come to this world with diamonds and pearls, some come to poverty. With no one to teach us right or wrong, how could you say that we wrong? This is all we know, so gotta be right. Or maybe it's left, but it's all we got left. Not to thug until my last breath. Truly, peace of love to the ones that knew me. You fuck the rest, I mean it. And she know, when I walk up this door, it might be for the last time. They say the stars burn the brightest right before they die. That's why I tell her I love her just in case the day's my day to shine. Father, forgive me for I sin, and I fear I probably sin again. Tell me whose blood is this on my hands? Cause I can't remember. And when my neck goes, I let it stay in the room. My thugs, pump drugs, dump slugs.
Communication whatsoever since those are music trains. The guy in there driving it. I don't know whether they've gone back to the regular size trains or not. What's going on? There's no power, no AM radio, nothing. I don't know. Water no water.
Hustler shit. Cocaine in the pot, stir it till it's thick. Throw some ice in the mix and shock it. That's how you rock that shit. Now here comes the magic trick. Abracadabra, bitch. The soul disappears quick as your baby mama's welfare check. This the life, yeah, fuck you pay me. I brought the bitch with me just to show you I ain't playing. All the goons in this motherfucker know what I'm saying. Bet the streets gon' feel me. Know these cops still wanna kill me or confine me. But first you gotta find me, so come find me. You bitch ass, punk ass cop. Y'all put this on my cop. This is something that you'll never stop. Every fuck with this track, keeping out for a lot.
And continuing to work in this space, we welcome to that table and to be able to help us make better decisions about the kinds of things that need to be done in communities. We have invited them in before, and we want to make sure that everybody's welcome at that table.
Last month, Goodell released a video apologizing for not doing a better job of listening to players' concerns on racial inequality, but was criticized for not mentioning Kaepernick by name. In 2016, Kaepernick started kneeling during the national anthem to protest police brutality. This is 680 News.
Spending too much time with your family, here are two others you might want to consider. The Great and the Belchers. Exactly. Otherwise known as Family Guy and Bob's Burgers on City TV now. Two hilarious families that might just help you stay indoors with your own. Can't believe you invited the whole family. Family Guy and Bob's Burgers. You can't choose your family, but you can choose the families you binge. Watch anytime, on demand, on the app, or at City TV now. Up to the hype.
Ontario, you're making a difference to keep people safe from COVID-19, and we all need to continue our efforts to protect each other. Get tested if you're worried you may have COVID-19 or have been exposed to the virus. Practice physical distancing. Stay 2 meters apart. Wear a face covering when physical distancing is a challenge, and continue to wash hands frequently. Inside or out, stay safe. Save lives. Learn more at ontario.ca/coronavirus. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
A few clouds in the sky, 17 degrees. Good evening from the 680 News Broadcast Center in downtown Toronto. I'm Keelan Lee.
I'm Scott Burnett. Here are the top stories right now.
Stage 2 still on hold for Toronto and Peel region.
So really,
government announcing 7 new regions get the green light, including York,
Step 1 is a
and can open patios, hair salons, and tattoo parlors on Friday. But right here, we still have too many cases of COVID-19.
Really travel that whole
Toronto bars and restaurants getting more time to set up. A new cafe TO program promising to remove red tape and allow businesses to add or expand existing patios and get things going by the first week of July if Toronto finally gets the go-ahead.
An elderly black couple asking for a review into a violent arrest caught on camera outside of a hospital in Ajax back in 2018. 2 officers were cleared of any wrongdoing. The couple is now suing Durham police.
For these stories and more, head to 680news.com.
Now time for 680 Sports from Sportsnet 590 to Fan. Here is Rob Wong.
Well, less than a week after saying he was 100% sure we would get a baseball season, MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred told ESPN that he's not so sure now.
Mike, I think there's real risk. And as long as there's no dialogue, that real risk is going to continue.
In a statement, PA head Tony Clark says that players are disgusted, and this latest threat is just one more indication that the MLB has been negotiating in bad faith since the beginning. Clark adds that any implication that the PA has somehow delayed progress on health and safety protocols is completely false. The San Francisco 49ers have signed head coach Kyle Shanahan to a new 6-year contract, which replaces the 3 years he had remaining on his last deal. Meanwhile, reports say several Houston Texans and Dallas Cowboys players, including star running back Ezekiel Elliott, have tested positive for COVID-19. Elliott's agent says his client is doing okay and recovering. None of the players visited their respective facilities, while the teams were said to have followed proper health protocols. And in NHL news, the Vegas Golden Knights have re-signed forward Ryan Reeves to a new 2-year deal worth $3.5 million. Reeves was set to be a free agent after this season. Sports at 15 and 45, past every hour or anytime at sportsnet.ca/590.
A message from the Warren. When you use the Warren key tag, you protect the keys. If you lose your keys, the finder can call the number on the back of the tag or drop them in any mailbox. And the Morris will return your keys to you for free.
Even after my heart stopped, I'm here to use the next generation to say fuck the cop. Same way I was taught, yeah, same way I was taught. Yeah, fuck the cop, fuck the cop. All my thugs, fuck drugs, dumb slugs, great thugs. Nah, you ain't want the bus. If you want it, better be ready to kill for it. If you want it, better be ready to kill for it. All my thugs, fuck drugs, dumb slugs, great thugs. Nah, you ain't want the bus. If you want it, better be ready to die for it. You want it, bitch, be ready to die for it.
So, you're really an hour ahead of me. Are you not on daylight savings?
An assignment asking students to play the role of colonizers has drawn harsh criticism. Pam Seidel of City News has more on how the Hamilton Catholic School Board is reacting to the outrage.
The assignment was posted on Twitter over the weekend and sparked outrage, accusing schools of reinforcing white supremacy and calling for change.
Although the intention might have been different, clearly the assignment, we acknowledge was inappropriate and insensitive.
The assignment was drawn from a section of the curriculum which invites students to investigate the perspectives of different communities and groups, including Indigenous peoples. Some educators say much tougher questions have to be asked. George Day is a professor of social justice education. He thinks the whole education system has to go back to the basics.
We must begin to teach history in a way that talks about questions of
Why
power.
are you teaching my
Begin to
history?
talk about questions about the absences, the negations, the omissions,
You're wrong too.
the misrepresentations.
I'm Pam Seidel, City News.
You're listening to 680 News at 10:50. A group of students from a Brampton high school say they are concerned and angry after a teacher was recorded in class using a racial slur. And Stewart, a teacher at Notre Dame Catholic Secondary School, was recorded telling students in May of 2019 that she was comfortable saying the N-word. According to the CBC, the Ontario College of Teachers said the allegation was substantiated, adding that it has serious concerns about its use. Instead of firing the teacher in question, the panel chose to issue Stewart an admonishment in person. Stewart remains an employee of the Dufferin Peel Catholic District School Board and a teacher at Notre Dame. York Region will be in stage 2 of the province's phased reopening plan as of Friday. That includes the city of Vaughan. Mayor Maurizio Bevilacqua says he's happy to be moving in the right direction, but he stresses they have to be cautious.
You must remember that in the fall, you may be facing a second wave.
Oh, yeah, the China boy was a China boy, but we said it in French.
In a very judicious manner, in a very responsible manner, in a very disciplined and focused manner.
The Vaughan Mayor is urging residents as they enter stage 2 to continue to follow public health advice, including practicing physical distancing, wearing a face covering, and washing your hands frequently.
680 News Time, 10:51.
Time for traffic and weather together on the lines. Here is Craig Gear.
This report is brought to you by Lexus of Richmond Hill, still with some slowdowns. Eastbound 401 approaching Guelph Line to east of it, it's for construction. The right lane's blocked off. And then also very heavy still east of Lake Ridge through to Brock Street. 2 left lanes are closed. Still with slowdowns through the construction at Curtis Road as well. 2 left lanes blocked off there. Those are the delays on the eastbound side of the 401. Going back on the westbound 401, approaching Dixon to the 412. It's still very, very heavy through here. Slow through Kennedy and the collectors as well, where the 2 left lanes are blocked off. Slight delays through the Allen, both express and collectors, where we have construction going on through here as well. You won't be able to get into the express approaching the 400. This transfer is closed off, but the collectors are still open there. So bound 400, very heavy leaving the Barrie area from approaching Dunlop, very slow. 2 left lanes blocked off, so not a lot of room. The demonstrator event is on now at Lexus of Richmond Hill. Shop online to view these incredible offers in the comfort of your own home. Only at lexusofrichmondhill.com. Your next report is at 11:01, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Ranzahai.
Clear and comfortable. We will start to increase the heat and humidity late in the week and into the Father's Day weekend. We are down to 12 degrees tonight. Sunshine all week long. Tuesday's high 23 degrees, Wednesday 27, Thursday 28 degrees, and then we start talking humidex by Friday. A 31 degrees feeling like 35. Next chance for showers will come late afternoon on Saturday with a better chance on Father's Day in the afternoon with a risk of thunderstorms. Tonight we're down to a low of 12 degrees.
And right now in downtown Toronto, clear 16 degrees. Conditions
Coming up at 11 o'clock, Toronto still left hanging on stage 2 of reopening, but the city is cutting some red tape to help bars and restaurants get patios ready. And the mayor of Markham, meanwhile, wants the premier to make masks mandatory in indoor spaces.
680 News Time, 10:53. This extended forecast is brought to you by Pizza Pizza. Now at
the company's getting delisted. It still hasn't delivered on those street cards. Well, they keep getting sent back for more defects to get repaired. I know, because I see them go by. By the way, it's not just about the money. That street cards are the service. All right. Oh, they already sold all the old ones for scrap. You say you know what they were doing?
Animal exhibits and great spots for
for families to picnic. Marineland has it all. They're opening soon and can't wait to see your family having fun at the park this summer. Visit marineland.ca to learn more about the reopening plans for 2020. Everyone loves Marineland.
You're reopening in 2020 for what?
Pay your bills contest.
There's a mammals, you guys. Fucking moron.
The seniors that you help.
I can't even hug them.
And your car broke down.
You said fish
Your
can't
car
get it.
repair
No,
bill
we know
is gone.
there's fish.
Fabulous. I love CHFI.
Enter to have Darren and Mo pay your bills.
It's infected every mammal it's been exposed to
CHFI.com.
that
Listen
we've
for us to
observed.
call your name weekdays at 8 and 4 for your chance to win Darren and Mo Pay Your Bills contest.
On 98.1 CHFI. It was a shooting that left a Scarborough neighborhood stunned. Two sisters in age 5 and 9 suffered serious injuries in the crossfire. Police now offering a $75,000 reward to anyone who provides information leading to the arrest of a man wanted in connection with that daylight shooting. 2 men have already been arrested and charged in the incident, but Toronto police say the last remaining suspect, Daquan Robertson, remains on the loose.
Mr. Robertson has been on the run for
Fuck
2
the
years
internet
now.
up right at the
We are going to
only
catch you sooner or later.
story
So
worth
if you're listening to this message and catch you sooner or later, you may as well enrich yourself by $75,000.
Dolphin packets in my router. They're going to cut you
As
right
Inspector Jim Patel, last year, $50,000 reward was announced for information leading to Robertson's arrest. Business is next.
680 News Time, 10:55. COVID-19 has turned the way we do business on its head. As a result, we have had to adapt to the new normal. But what does the new normal look like? It's not the same for everyone, and it seems to constantly fluctuate. This week on Meeting Accepted, we discuss where we go from here, what lies ahead for the business world, and how do we make sense of it.
Watch Meeting Accepted at 680news.com or anywhere you follow us on social. Powered by Microsoft Teams. Work remote without feeling remote.
Hear that? That's the sound of heavy rain, making its way through cracks in your foundation, dripping down the walls, and flooding your newly finished basement. That's the sound of floodwater backing up the floor drain, fountaining out of your drain cover, and covering your laundry room in sewage. If you don't like the sounds of a basement flood, find out what you can do to prevent it. Go to toronto.ca/basement flooding.
Now, time for your business report. Here is Richard Seller.
Good evening. We're getting an idea now about what the iPhone 12 may look like. Images purporting to be of the molds that case makers will use to create the iPhone 12 have leaked on Twitter. And it looks like what's old is new again. It appears Apple is kind of going back to the iPhone 4 type design. Now, they're not bringing back the home button or anything like that, but gone are the rounded edges that the iPhone has sported for the past several years, replaced instead by kind of like an iPad Pro style flat edge. If the models are to be trusted, the iPhone 12 family will include a 5.4-inch phone and a larger 6.1-inch version. There'll also be 2 Pro models measuring 6.1 inches and a large 6.7-inch device as well. The next iPhone is rumored to support 5G. That's the new super fast connectivity speed, which both Bell and Rogers have installed in the city of Toronto. Apple stock up 1.25% at $342. Meantime, selling off today, Canada's playmaker Bombardier. The stock was down 11.5% on news that it will be dropped from the S&P/TSX Composite Index, adding to the long list of Bombardier's recent woes. The S&P Dow Jones announced late last week that Bombardier and 13 other companies would be removed from the index on June 22nd, including cannabis company Hexo and MTY Food Group. MTY stock down 3% today. The broader markets were higher, though. The TSX was up 103 points to 15,359. The Dow was up 157 points, 0.6% to 25,763. S&P up 0.8%. The Nasdaq up 137 points, or 1.4%. The U.S. Central Bank says it's going to begin buying individual corporate bonds. Canadian dollar up to 73.66 cents U.S.
You're not even going to buy them to 5 at a time or whatever they sell them at.
A child is born with a cleft lip, cleft palate, or both. This
Like the
statistic
overhead as high
doesn't
as
change
possible while
even
we
during
do
a
this.
pandemic. Help support the longest day of smiles and make a $10 donation today by texting SMILE to 45678.
or visit OperationSmile.ca.
I haven't smiled as much.
You'll have a winning jug at the smile they so deserve. Thank you. Standard data and message rates may apply. Please don't text and drive.
88 gigabytes, and then the next 3 months,
business excellence. Small and Mighty
180 plus.
Awards believes that great accomplishments with the SMB community ought to be celebrated. There's the listening nominations for Top Community Builder, Best Innovator, Top New Business, Young Professional, as well as Small
30 or 40 struck the winner.
Go to smallmightysummit.com and nominate your favorite business and difference makers now. Deadline is June 28th.
Alexa, what station has the best breaking news, traffic, and weather?
680 News, obviously.
Obviously.
Right now in downtown Toronto, 17 degrees, some clouds in the sky, similar conditions at Pearson. 680 News time, 11 o'clock.
Number 1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News. Toronto. Good evening. This is Monday, June 15th.
Here's what's making news this hour.
The GTA mayor, whose city has been given the green light to reopen on Friday, once distancing is not possible.
If stage 2 patios and salons were open right across the street, would you cross over and spend your money there?
Pretty sure most people would. I know I would. No hesitation at all.
That's
Why
the problem.
across the
Toronto's
street?
Hill region will face
System
on
UI
Friday.
is
Registration is now open for Cafe TO. It's a measured, common sense, and quick start approach. If approved by council, the city could see an influx of patios by Canada Day.
A black couple asking for a review into a police investigation that cleared 2 Durham officers of any wrongdoing in a violent 2018 arrest in Ajax caught on video.
The news continues to be dire with
Violent
regards to a
arrest, yeah, but why would
2020
be
MLB
arrested
campaign.
at all?
As
Arrest,
Dallas Cowboys
they
running back
all
Ezekiel
stop.
Elliott
Oh,
tests
it's not
positive for the
arrest,
coronavirus. Sports at 15.
Sneak peek. We're
Are
getting
you
an
giving me
idea
wonderful
about what the
arrestation
iPhone
too,
12
like the
may look
fucking
like.
idiot on the phone?
TSX and Dow both gained more than 100 points to kick off
Not
the new
their
week.
fucking
Business
British
in 26.
Same damn word.
Traffic
Same
and weather together
breaks.
on the ones. Here's Quick Gear.
Lots of
Oh, no, one has
slowdowns
a
out there
different legal
eastbound
meaning.
401
No, it doesn't.
construction,
No, it
making it a
doesn't.
slow go
Look
for
it up
approaching
before.
Wolf Line
You
to
don't
east
see
of
that
it.
in private
And
career
then you're going to
colleges,
see delays east of Lake Ridge right through to Brock Street still. So that's what's going on the eastbound 401. It's also slow now through the construction in between Curtis Road and Holt Road, south of the 418, down to a single lane. So it's a slow drive. On the westbound 401, we have slowdowns as well. Approaching things into the 412 is a nightmare. Only the right lane is open. And then through
Somebody had
Kennedy,
a
the
dog.
collectors as well.
Something that
Slowdowns,
played
2 left
back in
lanes
your
blocked
mind.
off. In the Allen, both express and collectors, we're seeing a little bit of a slowdown. It's nothing crazy, but they're in 2 lanes here and there. So in the expresses, the 2 left lanes, in the collectors, the 2 right lanes. Approaching the 400, the collector to express transfer has been closed. But that's not a huge deal. You can stay in the collectors. You have access to the ramps that you need. Southbound 400, leaving Barrie, it's heavy approaching Dunlop. And northbound 427, seeing a bit of a slowdown, a bit of a delay. They're working in the right lane in between the 407 and Highway 7. Your next report is at 11:11. And with the forecast, here's Natasha Remzahat.
Crystal clear skies tonight. Great for sky watching, moon watching, star watching. We are waking up to 12 degrees, getting up to 23 through the afternoon with more sunshine and a breeze off the lake up to 25 kilometers per hour. Tonight we're down to low 12 degrees.
10, 11.
Right now in downtown Toronto, 17 degrees and partly cloudy. Similar conditions at Pearson. 680 News time, 11:03.
Restaurant patios, malls, and hair salons will be able to reopen in 7 more regions this coming Friday, including Durham, York, and Niagara. But the mayor of Markham says he has concerns about his community safety.
He's calling on the federal government to make masks mandatory in enclosed indoor spaces. 680 Phil Martino has more.
If you're a Toronto resident and your hair salon is in Markham, as of Friday, you can go get your hair cut. That's the kind of thing that has Markham Mayor Frank Scarpitti concerned.
Because they weren't already doing that for years. They're like, that's not the same circle of people already.
Distancing is not possible.
To say you've got a concern in one area,
we have totally different internet
and not allow them to open up, knowing
they don't
that
have
people
access
that live
to
in those
this
jurisdictions will move freely.
They don't know
We
any
need
rules.
this extra layer of protection.
Ministry of Health spokesperson Haley Jason says they
Patrick Brown,
strongly
you think
urge
he could run for the
individuals to
mayor
wear
of that
masks
place
or
too?
facial covering when
the same
physical
time?
distancing is a challenge. But the province has not made them mandatory because not everyone can tolerate a mask, including those who have asthma or other respiratory illnesses. For now, the
Mayor Markham is asking retailers and personal service shops in his city to implement a no mask and no service policy. I'm Phil Martino.
With Toronto Peel Region locked down to stage 2 once again, cities and towns in nearby Halton could be over those looking for haircuts or a patio lunch. On Friday, the distance between Toronto and Peel Region stuck in stage 1. All the patios and salons and shopping malls open in stage 2. Could be as short as simply going across the street.
Shit like that. Yeah, tell the people that don't own it that it's their job to order people what to do.
Which will soon be in stage 2. But here on the Mississauga side, some customers I've met are going to stay loyal.
I'm okay with just waiting everything out and see how everything turns out. Yeah, I miss going out on the patios and having a beer and watching the game, hockey game and stuff and all that.
Other shoppers, though, much more fickle. They tell me they would not hesitate for a moment to go shop across the street. Businesses along Steeles Avenue will find themselves in the same situation this Friday. Will their customers stay on the south side in Toronto and
where do you think the people that work in those shops live,
eh? To stage 2 in York region on the north.
They all live in the suburbs on the money they're making on the Oakville.
Toronto getting ready for the green light. They are announcing measures to help expand outdoor patio spaces and help with physical distancing. 680's Asher Roth has more on the KPTO program, and Lion expert says it's good. We're getting more time to prepare.
Toronto
says those local businesses are hurting and have been for months. Hopes KPTO will help, which is now open for registration.
It encourages a revival of our local economy, protects and supports our business community, and maintains safety and public health.
You shit your pants too, but you did it in private. You got out of town.
If that plan is approved by council, these patios would be permitted to open as early as July the 1st. And while that date can't come soon enough for both patio seekers and businesses alike, some experts suggest it may even be too soon. Only 181 new cases of COVID-19 were confirmed across the province Monday, but $4 billion right now for no reason came in Toronto and Peel region combined. Dr. Gerald Evans, the chair of the Infectious Diseases Division at Queen's University, tells the Toronto Star, since residents of Toronto, Mississauga, and Brampton could just cross the border and use a patio in Oakville, Vaughan, or Pickering, those neighboring communities should be remaining in stage 1 as well. I'm Asher Roth.
At least one GTA mall is hoping to
reopen on
10 million fucking Presto cards laying around. Reopening CF Markville and McAllen and Highway 7 on June 19th. The company says it's working on implementing increased cleaning and hygiene practices, physical distancing measures, and guidance for food courts as it prepares for the eventual reopening.
680 News Time 11:06. Mayor John Tory is calling on both the provincial and federal governments to help the city cover its massive budget shortfall caused by the pandemic. He discussed the matter at a meeting today with the rest of the Toronto and Hamilton area mayors.
You not see Detroit, you fucking
we
moron.
emphasize on behalf of all cities and towns that this can't come soon enough.
No, you can't, you moron. You literally just said it.
Property tax increases, neither of which are consistent with a strong and fair recovery.
All right, okay, don't do that.
Tory announced last month that budget shortfall could be as much as $1.5 billion, and that making up the difference would require either a 47% property tax hike or devastating cuts to key city services, including road and infrastructure projects, shelters, and the TTC.
We come up with 1.5 billion, and everything goes back to normal, including the 2,000 dead old people. Right, it's taking money.
Atlanta police body and dash cameras recorded the final moments of Rashad Brooks' life. Brooks was shot in the back and killed as he ran away after struggling with officers and seized a stun gun from one of them. At a news conference with tearful family members, Brooks' niece Chastity Evans said police should have shown more compassion.
No one walking this green earth expects to be shot and killed like trash in the street.
Oh, when they threw the blood in my face, they called me, you fucking, the cops are like, you okay, bro, the time for the buddy is a video in my hand. 20 minutes into it, try to explain to the man.
This is the beginning.
They almost shit themselves. They turned pale like I usually am. Oh, you actually recorded the guy saying it.
They didn't say that. 11:08. A dispatcher who said she was unafraid of being a snitch reported concerns about the arrest of a Minnesota man
recording some fucking mulatto piece of shit.
A 911 dispatcher in Minneapolis expressed concern after apparently watching in real time as police officers took down George Floyd on May 25th.
You can't get sickle cell because your mother's white. Oh, but you're black.
In a recording of the
call,
dispatcher called the police
police sergeant to report what she'd
Well, you
seen.
call me white trash, because everybody else white trash. You got me fucking garbage.
Floyd died after
South
Officer
Africa.
Derek Chauvin used his
How do I know that? They're all running around wearing South Africa shirts.
Has been charged with second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and
Money out the
manslaughter.
menu. I'll
3
pay for
other
my fucking
officers who were
episodes.
also fired are charged with aiding and abetting second-degree murder
Yeah,
and
let's go be
manslaughter.
quiet.
I'm Mike Gracia.
The U.S. Supreme Court has given gay, lesbian, and transgender workers a big win.
The conservative court ruled 6-3 that the Civil Rights Act protects LGBT people from workplace discrimination.
As I read those first few words, my heart stopped.
Gay government worker Gerald Bostic's lawsuit was one of 3 the High Court decided.
Really think I went into a moment of shock.
The ruling's a defeat not just for the employers, but for the Trump administration, which argued the Civil Rights Act's plain wording compelled a ruling for employers. Trump appointee Neil Gorsuch wrote the court's opinion, and the president says he accepts it.
A very powerful decision, actually.
Which is expected to have a big impact on the nation's roughly 8.1 million LGBT workers, since most states do not protect them from job discrimination.
The guy in the front gets his superpowers or some shit.
Now the 680 News gas price update from Bricks. The price of gas not going to change at midnight, holding at 97.9 cents a liter on most GTA stations. Traffic and weather coming up next. 680 News Time, 11:10. This is your breaking news station. 680 News. The Bundesliga is back on sports.
Oh yeah, we're fucking getting away from Bundesliga for sure.
Plenty left to play for. Absolutely perfect. As Germany's top football league gets back to business. Canadian superstar Alfonso Davies looking to fit their title. As a pack of rival contenders remain in hot pursuit.
Oh, yeah. I tried to check out some fucking software supposedly to stream from Android and crashed Android. Oh yeah, he says, I didn't install it or I tried to work it.
Trying to do your best. Time to hold my breath. Feel the demons tearing at my flesh. Never get a speak out of me. Much of a G. I'm just waiting to die so I can rest in peace. Serving beans, it's an all day, all night affair. Going no one dead, no one give a fuck, nah, no one really care. We just living to die in the city where they rather get high. I used to punch someone else's clock, so I learned to do it myself. Then I hired some help. Same night I learned to cook crack. Same night the devil gave me the keys to hell. I found a dead body right there. I can still remember the smell. This is where I used to play. Now I'm out here pushing the particle down.
Again with another one of them rocks.
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck's that? It's my lucky crib button. You don't have a lucky crib button? No, I don't have a lucky
crib. Speak on issues they know nothing about. They don't care about dreams, they don't feel our pain. We'd rather see us in the cage, buried in a grave. You exchange the shackles, try to hold us down. Speak on issues they know nothing about. They don't care about our dreams, they don't feel our pain. We'd rather see us in the cage, buried in a grave.
Living a hard life, struggle in the same roof as tomorrow. It's like we lived for yesterday with all the pain and sorrow. Hit the block, forget it all, cause making money's while the hard work catch me wrong. Through the slums, all black, that's my motto all day. Down the lanes, I'm on my way to Hell's Gate. Before I reach the gate, I'm leaving my legacy.
Disconnect the chat.
Sure, yeah. Soul still dancing.
His soul was dancing.
Speak on issues they know nothing about. They don't care about dreams, they don't feel our pain. We'd rather see us in the cage, buried in the grave. We exchange the shackles, try to hold us down. Speak on issues they know nothing about. They don't care about dreams, they don't feel our pain. We'd rather see us in the cage, buried in the grave.
Days today, really. What you been thinking? Oh, for fuck's sake, you're showing the same goddamn picture from 2 minutes ago, you retard. Jesus Christ.
To an exhibitor who is participating at the Canton Fair to get their take on the experience so far. Maggie Young, International Sales Director at Window and Door Hardware Systems and Solutions provider CMEC, joins us live. Maggie, thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you, Michael. It's my great pleasure.
So, Maggie, first of all, how easy or difficult was it to actually set up this exhibition virtually at the Canton Fair this year for the spring session?
I think technically it's quite easy because we can hire some very professional team. But the most difficult part for us is how to interact with our clients online because we cannot see each other. So we need to find an innovative way to show and explain our products to them.
Well, Maggie, you have begun live streaming this morning already, selling to buyers all over the world. So what's the experience like so far interacting with these buyers virtually?
It's quite interesting. Within about 1.5 hours, we have already about 4 million likes on our live streaming show. However, there is one key is we cannot talk to each other because they haven't registered. So they are unfamiliar with the registration on the online Canton Fair.
But I'm sure it's only day one, so these technical glitches, I'm assuming, will be smoothed out for the rest of the fair. And Maggie, is CMEC looking to increase investment into live streaming as a sales channel in the future, you think?
Yes, sure. We believe the future trend is the fair online. Also, we are going to invest more on the online marketing and the online expo.
Okay. All right. We're going to leave it there. Benny.
Click. All right. We're going to leave it there. Really? Like your timing is incredibly fucked up.
San Francisco long term, the 49ers and head coach have agreed on a new 6-year deal that takes him through 2025. Down in Texas, reports say several members of the Cowboys and Texans have tested positive for COVID-19. Dallas running back Ezekiel Elliott, the only one to be identified so far by his agent, who says his client is doing okay and recovering. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour.
Pick something to work or not work. Like you swapping it from whatever I'm touching, it actually don't work.
Want to discover this year's most innovative new products? Visit productoftheyear.ca. From the buzziest beauty products and luxe culinary finds to cutting-edge appliances and so good sweets, thousands of Canadians have voted for the most innovative new products for 2020. The world's largest consumer-voted award for product innovation that recognizes product design, functionality, and packaging. And the products that impressed are yours to behold at productoftheyear.ca.
For the past several months, we stayed at home. And now at CMEC, we want to thank you for doing your part. Our flooring stores are now open with safety measures to protect you and our
I normally
employees.
get like
We're ready
really
to serve
fuzzy
you
miniature
in-store,
screenshot every 2
online,
seconds
or
of
by
myself
virtual visit
from the
at
fucking high-def camera on top of the
Vendors
TV
are
set.
providing
You
us special
fucking
reopening
moron.
discounts, and we're passing them on to
Obviously
you.
got the low
Now you'll
upload
save like
thing.
never before
Wherever
on
you
all
set up
carpet,
shop,
flooring, and
somebody
area
wasn't
rugs.
prepared and swapped over to the new internet plan.
Here with All News Radio 680 News at 11:18.
The
province is promising funding will flow in very short order to about 375 frontline healthcare workers still waiting for a promised pay premium. The government says it has provided written funding commitments to employers, although no date has been provided. Premier Doug Ford announcing a $4 an hour pay premium in late April, as well as a monthly bonus of $250 for those working more than 100 hours in a month. He said it was a way of recognizing the sacrifices essential workers make as they fight the spread of COVID-19. An elderly black couple involved in a violent arrest in 2018 is now suing Durham Regional Police. The arrest caught on video outside Lakeridge Health Aid at Skipper Hospital in October 2018. You can
see that whole video at 680news.com. The couple who were in their late 60s at the time say they were leaving the hospital after checking in for not feeling well. The officers were there for something unrelated, but according to police, hospital staff,
you call them and they don't show up, it's because they're busy beating a bigot.
Disturbance regarding the elderly couple.
In the video, multiple officers are seen struggling with the couple
on the ground. The couple now suing Durham police alleging wrongful and assault. In a statement to City News, though, the force says a different police service investigated the case and concluded that allegations of wrongdoing were unsubstantiated. Stateside now, President Donald Trump downplaying concerns of a rising number of coronavirus cases across the U.S., indicating that the increase was due to more testing. During a White House event Monday, Trump said, quote, "If we stop testing right now, we'd have very few cases, if any." Vice President Pence made similar comments Monday, suggesting the White House has already shifted focus from addressing the health impacts of the virus to holding campaign rallies. Even as health experts are warning about surges in several states, Trump says the country has been making, quote, steady progress toward putting the coronavirus farther and farther in the past. 680 News time 11:20. In an apparent change of heart,
white people think, oh, it's a long time ago. Well, I thought about it once, so that's a long time ago.
Quarterback Colin Kaepernick.
No concept of time.
Made the comments during an interview with ESPN's.
Everybody else is always
He
late,
wants to
right?
resume his career
Everybody else
in
is
the
late,
NFL.
right? Everyone else is lazy. Everyone else is racist. Everyone else is mean. Everyone else is trying to steal from you when you don't have anything.
And encourage them to do that.
Trying to build your empire.
Apologizing for not doing a better job of listening to players' concerns on racial inequality, but was criticized for not mentioning Kaepernick by name. Kaepernick has not played since the 2016 season. 680 News time 11:21.
Celebrate the graduating
Well, they only want willing slaves because that's how Satanism works.
Hi, this is
He doesn't want to be a slave, so they have no use for him.
We anchor the morning news here on 680 each
You made it
weekday.
as clear as fuck. You don't want to work for them.
You planned. No in-person goodbyes.
Why would they hire you? You don't want to work for them. So,
for now. But talk about a time
it ain't about the price, obviously. It's the way
your moment. The time none of us will forget.
If
kept
any
kneeling
cohort
down.
has learned never to take
And I
anything
said
for
not
granted,
to.
it's yours. And no doubt you will be stronger for it as you move
Smart
onward
ass,
to your
man.
next
I know
adventure.
exactly what they
Shout out
said.
to my son Harrison Cook, a class of 2020 graduate at Western
But they
University.
say it in front of me, thinking they'll convince me I'm right, because they really think that worked with all the people they did that to. Because you refuse to listen to anything but what's going right in front of you. I didn't know, because of this reason and that reason. Everything I learned has been public access for decades. So, how the fuck? For decades before I was alive. I can't verify anything. I can't verify that.
This report is brought to you by Don Valley
I
North
didn't know
Love
this,
System
this
delays
and
at
that.
their
You think
eastbound
that's all
401 approaching
racist,
West Line
sexist
to east of it. They have got the right lane blocked off here, and then you're slow again through Mississauga
Oh,
Road,
I
where
thought I
the
was
right
one
lane's
of
been
them. Why? You
closed.
don't
The
look like them,
southbound
smell like
Guelph
them.
line, the
Nothing
Ramp 2
in
Guelph
common
line
with them.
is closed, and the
And you
Mississauga
know it
Road
if you
ramps
grew up
to
in
the
the same
eastbound
house.
401 also shut down. At the Allen, the express to collector transfer has been closed,
You
and then
stink. I'm
still
wearing
slow
brand
from the
new
412
clothes,
to
bro.
Brock
I just
Street,
got out
2
of the
left lanes
shower.
blocked,
I'm
only the right
you
lane
don't like
open.
black people.
Only the right lane
You
open
wouldn't say
through the
that to a
construction
black
at Curtis Road as well, but both these
Right.
stretches are improving.
Both
What's not,
count.
though, is the westbound 401 as you approach
Like fried
Dixon,
chicken and
or
dirt
from
stuff.
Dixon now, so a slight improvement. So Dixon right through the 412, though. Very heavy slowdowns. Another construction stretch where the 2 left lanes are blocked off, only the right lanes open. Through Kennedy and the collectors, not up to highway speeds. Through this construction zone, 2 left lanes are blocked off. And then at the 427, this will be one to watch soon. They've got the 3 right lanes blocked off now, just a single left lane open underneath the 427. It usually jams up. Northbound 427, the right lane's blocked in between the 407 and Highway 7. Buy a new Lexus without ever leaving your home with Don Valley North Lexus on demand. Shopping for a new Lexus has never been easier. Visit DonValleyNorthLexus.com for details. Your next report is at 11:31, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Ramsahide.
Slowly getting warmer as the week goes on, and the humidity will be up, but not till the end of the week. We are starting off at 12 degrees in the morning, getting up to 23 through the afternoon with sunshine. More sun on Wednesday and 27, and really the sun is with us all week long. Thursday's high 28 degrees, we're back to 31, humid 35 by Friday. Overnight tonight, headed down to a low of 12 degrees.
Downtown Toronto right now, clear and 16 degrees. Similar conditions at Pearson Airport.
We know you've been spending a lot of time at home and may need to update your space. Lazy Boy is now open to bring the comfort, quality, and style of Lazy Boy to your home. Shop safely in store or book a personal, private, or virtual shopping appointment with a team member or designer today. Hundreds of products are available for immediate safe home delivery or curbside pickup at 9 stores in the GTA plus Barrie and Kitchener. We're also extending an amazing reopening offer to double scratch and save up to 50% off your entire Lazy Boy purchase, including clearance.
Gangs got beat the fuck out of by anti-racist skinhead gangs. I'm not even joking.
Teachers and principals.
Join us in
People think I'm scared of a freaking cop that's never been here.
On 680 News.
You don't know how to place for them,
And words of wisdom.
To the graduating class on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram and tag
I've
680
never seen
News.
you before. You don't got a place. Hey, the white guy protecting his nigger. I'm not white, stupid. He looks at a face because he's never been on the court. Oh, it's a race-based, race-baiting hate speech. No, he's trying to stop me from taking 2 steps to my grandmother's
Radio
house.
was stolen. Constable Ronald
better
Joseph, an
fucking
officer of
move.
11 years
Move your
with
boy,
Toronto
dog.
police, is facing 1 count each
Dog,
of
boy,
breach of
okay,
trust and theft over $5,000. Police say the radio was stolen in 2019,
fucking
sometime
what?
between September 12th and
More
October
than
7th, prompting the
More
internal
than-
investigation.
Oh, yeah, I
Joseph
got a
has
bit of
been
a
suspended
suntan,
with pay and
man.
is scheduled to appear in
So
court
I put on
in
lotion.
September.
Lotion. You need lotion. You're
Richard
gonna
Seven's
fucking
got everything you need from the 680
No,
River
yeah.
Business Center.
680 News
400 years of what
7-125
product
weather
would save your
forecast.
ass?
You can
Stupid.
bank
Where'd that come
on
from?
it. We're up by more than 3 degrees.
You could win our growing cash jackpot. The 680 News weather guarantee. Enter online at 680news.com.
Oh, but your skin color, pigment is not doing
On
anything.
June 18th, the Today Showstopper at TSC will be your choice of the
There's
coolest
6
ice
kinds of
and
melanin.
melanin.
Melanin, which kind? There's 6 documented kinds of melanin.
Season AMO9 hot and cool fan. They all use Dyson's innovative bladeless technology.
Oh,
to
Redskins
deliver remote
racist.
control
Redskins
for
racist.
programmable
Yeah, to the
comfort.
Viaduct. That's why you want
Watch
everybody to
Super
forget they
Bowl on
existed.
June 18th, when they're the Today Showstopper.
All you racist Indians been saying for years there's no Micmac. Blah, blah, blah. The Micmac this, the Micmac that. How many times you get guns put in your face for that? Stupid. Oh, but we don't exist. So go ahead and call the cops. We don't exist. That's who told you we don't exist.
Toyota at Aaron Park Toyota. Our showroom
Yeah,
is
you have
now
to suck their
open.
dicks
And
to
what better way
get
to
the
start
brick,
your
don't
new normal
you? Yeah,
than
you
your
do.
new
You're
car?
working with the cops to get the life. You're gonna get charged in reds. Where's the money come from? Right, you
It's time
morons.
to Toyota, and it's time to look ahead. Your new Toyota is waiting, all with Toyota Safety Sense at AaronParkToyota.com.
You're fucking stupid. Oh, well, I look in the mirror, I see an Indian, so I'm Indian. Okay, what does an Indian look like? Oh, we don't know. They take pictures because they're scared of their souls getting stolen. No, those were wanted posters, you moron.
for more than 3 months, and that it may pursue a formal
Well,
restructuring.
those pictures are of some other
how
random guy.
negotiations with landlords go. The seller says it can't confirm or predict
Oh,
when
this is the
locations will
Grand
open.
Chief. He looks just like me. There's some random guy,
He
bro.
announced a net loss of $6 million for its latest quarter. Its stock was actually higher
Oh, you
today
got all
at
the chiefs and everything.
$1.20.
And none of them ever lived to be 140.
Consumers
Oh,
and
you
advertisers
claimed
spent more than
BC in 1867, but you didn't get there till 1880.
last year. An astonishing figure
You
indeed.
admit you didn't
This
get there till
includes
1880.
money that Apple handles directly, such as paid apps and in-app purchases.
Oh, no,
but also
the
money that
ICP just
Apple doesn't
before that
directly
because
deal
it
with.
was
The comments come
created.
just
It
a
was
week ahead of
quote
Apple's
unquote the
annual
Indian
developers
problem.
conference. Apple stock was up 1.25%,
Yeah, wild Indians running around thinking they can do what they want and keep the niggers behave in the fields. Can you know that won't work?
The world's largest retailer, Anthony Accoli with
We'll
TD
steal your
Bank.
horses, we'll steal your cows. Hey, what are these things? We'll steal those too. Hey, take those out. You're walking your own, buddy. Faster. Come on. You need to speak the language. He's not allowed to read, and I suppose we don't write, so it don't matter what language we speak, does it? I'm with us. Stupid fucks. You know history, eh? No, you don't. Military history of the Micmac people is 200 pages. Micmac Police Warrior Society. Oh, he's very anti-police. Really? Because I'm connected to 600 police services. This is not English.
Which was up 103 points. Bay Street up 103 to 15,359.
Oh, I'm sorry, right. That stands for society, which is actually a corporation in English. Which Justin would pronounce as corporation. And that sounds stupid, so I don't know what word it's supposed to be.
US. This is 680 News.
This
When
my
you use
posse
a
back
War
there.
Amps key tag, you
And we link
protect
up
your
with the other
keys.
posses.
If you lose your
Come
keys,
close
the
to
finder can
close.
call the War Amps or drop them in any mailbox. And the War Amps will return them to you by
There is no
courier
North
for
Coast,
free.
you fucking
Order your
moron.
key
See
tags
Hudson
today
Bay?
at
See all the ice and
waramps.ca.
permafrost?
I'm
North
here with Bill
Coast,
Coy,
North
Coy Brothers,
Coast.
and we're not forgetting about Father's Day.
You didn't get your dad anything?
Anything yet? Got any ideas?
Nothing says I didn't forget you, Dad, like a Stihl IMO robotic mower that does all the work for him. We've got a Stihl gas blower for $199.95. A Stihl...
Oh, man. It's as if they need help. What do you think I was going to do? You guys think I'm stupid? Anyway, eh? Oh, where'd you go? You ran off again. One of them pulled right up and stopped, eh? Pussies. Well, it sounds like there's lots of them because there's only one in each car. So it sounds like there's twice as many. COVID. But they'll get out of the cars and like fucking kiss each other face to face.
Good evening, it's Monday, June.
Oh, it's all
15th.
brotherhood, just like Roman legions. It's fighting stronger.
Mayor is calling on the province
Nobody
to
with
make
a fucking family would want to do that job. He's looking all these assholes trying to fuck you in the ass, kill you, rob you, lie about you.
This
Wow.
as his city heads into stage
They're
2
all
of the
trying to fuck your
province's
wife every chance they
reopening
get.
plan.
So would you be willing to
They're all
spend your
child
money in a
molesters.
stage 2 area
Yes,
this
yeah.
Friday if it was only across the street?
I miss
I
going
can't
on the
prove you are.
patio.
You
We're
can't
at the
prove you're
border
not.
between Peel and Halton regions
Because
to
I know how
find
they
out.
extort you into fucking with me. So it's been the same script since when they first started trying to get me into those pictures.
There's a
Agreed to
chance
do
Major
it.
League Baseball
Yeah,
will
a
not be
lot of
playing
those
at
kids
all
went
this
along
summer
with it,
as a
not
star
us.
NFL
It
running
doesn't
back
run
tests
in our
positive for
thing, no matter
COVID-19
what
at
you tell
Sports
us.
at 15.
Winning Monday
Oh,
on the
you're
market,
Christian,
CFS
and you're
of just
white,
over 100, and
and
there's a
you're
new store in
gay.
Toronto that sells nothing but medical masks.
Your
and
birth
it's
rate
donated
is
to a good cause,
1.6,
too.
lower
We'll
than
talk to its
replacement.
owner
Ours
in
is
business
3.2,
at
double,
56.
higher than replacement. Wow, you want me
Time
to
for
turn gay,
traffic
really?
and
Just like
weather
you all the
together
Planned
on
Parenthood is
one.
directed at
Here
black
is Craig
people.
Gear.
Anyone with sickle
It's a
cell should
busy
just
night
not
out there. This report brought
reproduce.
to you by Mark
Because it's
Feldstein
only
and
useful
Associates.
dealing
So
with
we have
bugs,
some delays out
parasites,
there all
and
through our
viruses and
construction
all that
zones.
shit.
We'll start on the eastbound 401. We're
Well, what
approaching
the fuck would you
Bluffline
ever
to
need
east
that
of it.
for?
We have the
You have
right lane blocked
vaccines,
off, and it's
you don't
slow
have
through
vaccines,
here.
and you
Through
use
Mississauga
clean
Road,
running
they
water.
have the
So they
right
were going
lane
to send
closed,
American
and
plumbers
it's
over here
slow
to set
through
this
there
shit up.
too. We have
Engineers,
the
military
ramp to
engineers,
Guelph
Canadian
line, the
sappers.
southbound Guelph line ramp to the east
Oh, you need
401, and the
vaccines.
Mississauga Road
Vaccine
ramps
did
to
it.
the eastbound 401
Right.
shut down
All
for
the
this
places that didn't
maintenance.
get the
At the
vaccine, but they
Allen, the
got
express
sewers
to
and running
collector
water,
transfer is being closed. We also have
also
the morning
don't
side
have
and the
polio.
Medvale. Northbound Port
What's the
Union
vaccine got
ramps
to
to the
do with
east
it?
401
Oh,
all
Wake
shut
and Bro,
down.
Wake and Bro.
Still slow
Showed
from
the
the
study.
412 to Broad
Never
Street. 2 left
tested
lanes blocked,
any
and through Curtis
vaccine
Road as well.
ever
2
for
left lanes are
efficacy.
closed down.
It's
Coming
safety.
back the other
They
way,
thought, oh, this
westbound
is a
401
schizophrenic
kicks
drug.
into the
Oh, it's
412. A
dangerous.
very slow
Oh,
drive.
this disease is
It's
worse.
through construction.
Oh, this
Only a
isn't
single
too
lane
dangerous
is
for
getting
that one.
by
It's
through this
it's an epilepsy
construction
drug
zone.
now.
Western
No, not
kicks
epilepsy.
into
It's
approaching
for
the
multiple
412
sclerosis.
is
Oh, it's
the
for
delay
trigeminal
now.
neuralgia.
Kennedy and the collectors, 2
Fucking
left lanes
serious.
blocked off, and it's not terrible going through
Bottles of
here.
shit here. I don't take it.
So that's the good news there. We also have at the 427, 3 right lanes blocked off, and you know what? It's really not too bad
What does the
going
book
by
say about
there.
all my
Usually
pain, all
gets
my
really
conditions?
jammed
The
up.
pain
It's another
conditions,
headache
they need
spot, but it's not terrible. Southbound
Because your
404
nerve
now, we're
endings
seeing
don't
delays
stop
from
sending
south of the
pain signals,
407
so they get opiates no
down
matter
to
what.
just
You
south
think,
of
you
Steeles.
know,
The
I keep
construction
taking
zone
Tylenol
continues
more
down
than
to
the bottle
Shepherd,
says. It doesn't
but
work.
that's
No, it
the
doesn't.
heaviest from just south of the 407 to south of Steeles. They have some lanes taken away here for
It's an
overnight maintenance.
anti-inflammatory.
For
I'm
your
not
personal
inflamed,
and corporate tax accounting needs, call Mark Feldstein and Associates Chartered Professional Accountants. Visit markfeldstein.ca.
These bumps are
markfeldstein.ca.
not wet.
Your next report is at 11:41, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Ramsahide.
And it's not
Anyway, the
flowing
umbrellas,
blood.
no
Those are
precipitation in the
collections of
forecast
dead
until
blood
the
cells.
weekend. We
Dead,
are
exploding.
going down to 12 degrees tonight under
Hemoglobin
clear
and shit.
skies, and the sun
Same
returns
amount of
tomorrow.
blood. You
Very high
just
UV
cannot
index of
carry
9, so
oxygen
make sure
in
the
certain
sunscreen is on. We've got a high of 23 degrees. Tonight, we're down to a low of 12 degrees.
Downtown Toronto clear at 16. Same conditions at Pearson, 63.
Stage 2 of reopening will go into effect in Ontario for parts of the Golden Horseshoe on Friday, including York, Durham, Halton, Hamilton, and Niagara regions. But Toronto, Mississauga, and Brampton will have to wait at least another week.
Meantime, the mayor of Markham has a major suggestion for the federal government as things start to get
Back to the East region, putting in stricter rules for wearing masks in indoor spaces. 680's Phil Martino joins us with Mark.
Markham Mayor Frank Scarpitti has concerns about his community's safety, so he's calling on the Ford government to make masks mandatory where physical distancing is not possible.
When you're restricting the city of Toronto and Peel, then you got to protect the other areas of the GTA by having such a requirement.
This GTA resident supports the idea of making masks mandatory in Ontario.
When they realize how badly they fucked up.
If they prove to help, then why not?
So what does the
They
Ministry
will
of
come
Health
around,
think about the idea
like
of
around, oh,
mandatory
he can't
masks?
see me. They'll look
Spokesperson
me
Haley
in the
Jason
eye
says
and do it.
they strongly urge
And look
individuals to
shocked
wear
when they
masks
realize
or
my
facial
eyes are
covering when
pointed at them.
physical
Like,
distancing is a
what the fuck is
challenge.
wrong with you?
But the province has
Oh,
not
look
made
at
them
this.
mandatory because not everyone
Look at
can
left,
tolerate
look
a
at right,
mask,
look at
including
left,
those
look at
with
right.
asthma or
Oh,
other respiratory illnesses.
You
I'm
take this
Phil
up.
Martino.
Left is up.
680
Right
News
is up.
Time,
Oh, wow.
11:34.
But you told me I can't see
Region
anything.
will
I
remain
can't
in
see.
stage
I've got
1 for a
20/10
little
vision,
while
but I can't
longer,
see.
but
The fuck
that
are you
won't
talking about?
stop
A
residents
2800
of
on this side,
Brampton or
but I can't see.
Mississauga from driving down the road for a patio
I can see
lunch
your
or some
fingerprints. You
personal
can't see your
care.
own
Here's
fingerprints.
680's Mark Douglas.
Right here at Winston Churchill and Dundas, one side is Mississauga and Peel region, the other side is Oakville and Halton region. Folks who live around here now have to ask themselves,
How many
where
hundreds
will I
of blood
spend my
samples are on
money?
my floor, officer?
Whatever
You
I
have to
need
test
to
every
be.
goddamn
It doesn't matter.
square.
Mississauga and Oakville. To me, it's all the same.
When that first batch of regions allowed to enter stage 2 was announced, you basically had to drive from Toronto to GTA or the Golden Horseshoe to enjoy some of those services, but this Friday, you can literally walk across the streets.
Keep
I've
using
only
the old
met 2 people
applications as
all
evidence
day
of the
here
new
on the
ones.
Mississauga side of this border,
Back
that
straight.
even
Whoa,
though they
since
might
this
miss
is
a
okay,
cold
chain
beer
of
on a
custody,
hot
chain
patio,
of evidence.
they're
Go all the way
willing to
back
wait
up, and it comes back to your own words. You said these
on
things
the edge
about
of
me
Peel
every
region,
time.
I'm Mark Douglas. Registration now open for the city's Cafe TO plan, which continue. Patios appear in front of local restaurants and bars as early as Canada Day. 680's Asher Ralph tells us even that measured approach may not be cautious enough.
Cafe TO allows bar or restaurant owners that don't have a patio already to build one on the sidewalk or the curb lane in front of their business. Mayor John Tory says the city is removing certain bylaws and fees to make it easier for them to do so.
And by urging, staff are working ahead of time now and ahead of the council vote when final approval will be given in order to make sure the program won't be delayed.
Now, Mayor Tory says he sympathizes with many business owners who are eager
It's not
to
a program. You want your
but
waving
he says
something.
following
This is how we got to
public
create a
guidelines is the
program.
key to avoiding
What
a
are you
second
talking
wave
about?
of COVID-19.
Wave the fees and wave the.
Agree.
We have to
Even taking it a
create.
step
What are you
further,
creating?
telling the Toronto Star that neighboring communities permitted to enter stage 2 on Friday are doing so too soon, since there's nothing stopping Toronto residents from spreading the virus elsewhere. Public health officials confirmed 181 new cases of the virus on Monday. 70% of them were confirmed in Toronto and Peel region combined. I'm Asher Roth.
The real mayor died.
680 News Time,
The same
11:37.
thing
The city of Toronto
John Tory
released a
did to
report
go to
on a
court
review of
against
its
Doug
long-term
Ford.
care
You
homes
forgot
in the
about
wake
that.
of COVID-19
Rockford
outbreaks.
could have done
Mayor
to
John
John
Tory says
Tory.
while the regulation of long-term care homes is a provincial
You can't manhandle
responsibility,
people out of the
the
fucking
city is
voting
working
booth
to make its
anymore.
homes better.
Doesn't
We will
matter
do
if it would have
everything
taken
we can
20,000 more
as
to
a
make
city
a
government
difference.
to
I
protect
know
seniors
that. The
in our
law still
long-term care
says
residences
you're going to
to
get
make
fucking
sure that
knocked
the
the
entire
fuck out when you're not married
provincial
anymore, buddy.
system is improved in the wake of COVID-19.
Just like all these other white boys, they
full
always
cooperation
push me here.
as
Why
well.
here?
A report calling on a
This is
number
real
of
close to
actions
my
for the
dick,
city's
buddy.
10 LTC homes, including maintaining
Neuro-linguistic
screening of staff,
program.
essential visitors, and residents for
I'm not
the
too
virus.
Power
The
you,
families of
force
residents
you,
living
show
in
you,
Pickering's
boss.
Orchardville long-term care home calling for an end to elder
You
abuse
tell
at a
them,
candlelight
masters,
vigil Monday night.
they-
Orchardville is one of the hardest
the
hit by
boss.
COVID-19 and saw
The
78
Mi'kmaq
killed
Warrior
by the
Society
virus.
fundraised
The
their own
province
money
is
to
now
pay
in
for
charge of the home.
churches.
Kathy Park's
So that church
father was a
belongs to
resident
us.
there
You
and died in
just work
April.
for it.
There's a
You
lot
get
of
paid
concern
to
about
do
what
it.
happens when Lakeridge
That's
Health
why
leaves
I'm
after their
there,
90 days are up.
stupid.
We
Because
weren't
there's
even
people
told that the
pulling
military had
machine
left until
guns
after
out
the
for
fact.
mosques.
So there's a lot of
You
miscommunication.
bet
There's a
sorry,
lot
oh,
of
hey,
things
hey,
still,
take
and it's
care of the
almost
poor
like the
nigger.
lessons maybe haven't been learned.
We're gonna be so
Last
sick we
week,
can't even
outbreak
eat
was
it.
declared
Yeah,
officially
yeah, and
over,
I
but a
still
Canadian
ain't
military
came back. You
report
said
detailed
you're
the
helping
horrific
me.
conditions at the home,
You
including
fucking
cockroach infestations and reports patients were left in
You're
kids soiled diapers.
3 months
Spit
after
in
the
my eye, calling
pandemic
me a
put a
dirty
hold on
nigger because
residential
I'm a
eviction,
disease spreader. I
frustration
got
is
COVID,
boiling
beat the
over at a
shit. So
Mississauga
you're one of those
rooming
sneaky
house.
fucks.
One man says he was
Asymptomatic, or you
illegally
just keep lying?
evicted by a landlord and forced to sleep in his
You're
car.
not allowed
5
anywhere near
New
any
City
public
News has the
health
story.
type
Shelter
license
Resort
place
had been
ever
living
until
in the
they figure
master
out
room in the
who's
home
from
near
you. Well,
Eglinton
I'm
and Davis
obviously
for the
new and
last
I'd
2
be dead.
years.
You're
Until
asymptomatic.
just
They can't cure
recently,
you.
he was
There's no treatment.
temporarily laid off due to COVID and only paying half the rent.
We can see
On
my immune
Saturday,
system
the
working and not
31-year-old
working
says
right
his
here.
landlord changed the locks
Graphical
while he was
representation
out
is
for
better than
dinner.
the
The
tattoo.
owner of the home says the other 4 roommates had been
Don't worry, white
complaining about
people. You
Chaudhry
can
and
give it to
things
me.
were
I
getting
can't give this
worse
to
in the
you.
last 4 months.
Oh, niggers
Sitting
HIV. I
sometimes
get it
between
all.
the
They're
2
racist.
men,
Oh,
one
I'm
appears to
racist.
show that the landlord
Yes,
told
you're the
Chaudhry
racist.
to find a new place to live back in May when he also
Oh,
told
it's
him
a
that a
new
potential
thing.
renter would come through the room.
1975 is
Chaudhry
new.
refutes these
How much have you
allegations.
put into
All of this is
hepatitis
illegal
and
by law.
HIV
My landlord should
vaccines
have gone to the tenant board
that you know
and
can't
asked
work?
for an eviction order.
Back in March, the
You
landlord
know
tenant board
cannot work.
suspended
There are
issuing
200 million
evictions and
people
hearing
worldwide with
orders unless it's an
scabies.
urgent matter.
That's 10 cents to treat it, bro. You are pathetic.
Tenants alleging they've been illegally locked out will be automatically scheduled for
It's all
urgent
you dirty
hearings.
poor people
Chaudhry says
spreading
he's
bed
reached
bugs.
out
Really?
to
We're
the
traveling the
tribunal.
world, touching all
The
these
Major
things,
League
and fucking the same
Baseball
outfits as
season
you are.
is
That
now
doesn't
a
make any
toss-up.
sense.
This coming as the Associated Press says several MLB
I
players and
stayed in that
staff have
hotel room,
tested
and I'm like,
positive for
crackhead fans,
COVID-19.
right? We stayed in that
5
hotel room.
days ago, Commissioner Rob Manfred says with
I'm
100%
far away, so it
certainty
doesn't
we're
count.
having
I
a
can't get
season.
sick here.
But
It's
today he
great
told
last
ESPN
season.
he is no longer that
I'll have to
certain.
this week. I'm on
Both sides have
vacation.
been fighting over the framework of a 2020 campaign, with the players wanting their full prorated
Yeah, we paid
salaries,
for
a
the
sticking point for the owners. After about 5 or 6 different proposals were
Oh, well,
sent, talks
being a
were getting nowhere.
nonprofit, if
And
anything,
Saturday,
nobody
the
can.
players said, "We are done.
Yeah,
Just
they
tell us
lie.
when
Oh,
the
I own
season
my
is
own
going to
charity.
start."
I'm my own charity.
Based
You
on
just
an
get saying
agreement
this
signed
shit.
in March, MLB felt it could implement a shortened season. But according to reports, the PA would file a grievance if that happened, claiming MLB did not live up to its contractual word, that it would try to play as many games as possible. The season would be somewhere around 50 games. If that happened, then MLB would file a counter grievance claiming the PA didn't bargain in good faith. There's no deal in sight, and perhaps for the first time, there is a real risk of no baseball. From Sportsnet 590, The Fan, I'm Alex Xero.
I own that
Now
because you're
your
no nigger that
60 years
doesn't know
gas
better.
price
I do the
update.
taxes,
Edinburgh predicts the price will not change at midnight, staying at 97.9 cents a liter at most GTA stations. Traffic and weather's next.
This is 680 News.
I know
Every
baseball
Toyota
team,
is built to keep you and your
non-profit.
family
No,
safe.
that distinction didn't
And every
exist.
Toyota is sold in a way that keeps you and our staff safe. Our
Those
showrooms
people are
and
so
service
fucking
departments are
crooked.
open
They
and
turn
sanitized
the
regularly.
fundraising to
We're following
get
physical
jerseys and
distancing
shit for
guidelines and offer remote
t-ball
or
teams
contactless service.
into a racket.
And right now, you
To
don't
where
pay
the
for 6
government
months
had
when
to
you
get
finance
involved
most new Toyota
and
models.
register
So
the
if you're
fucking
looking for a
teams.
Toyota,
It's not a
contact your local
charitable
dealer or visit
registration number. It's a
shoptoyota.ca.
non-profit.
Already, we've got
It's not charitable. It's a business that is not allowed to make profit.
Traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Craig
You
here.
love
This report is brought to you by Royal Botanical Gardens. And if you are heading out on the eastbound 401, we have construction, and it's a slow one approaching Guelph Line to east of Guelph Line. Traffic spotters saying it's really not too bad, but it is slower than highway speeds. Heads up, east 401 ramp 2, Guelph Line's closed. Southbound Guelph Line ramp 2, the east 401 blocked off. With the Mississauga Road ramps to the eastbound 401 shut down too, and now they've closed the 2 right lanes through Mississauga Road. And it's causing a slowdown through this construction stretch.
Jam up
At the Allen, the
slow
express to
down,
collector
jam it
transfer is
up.
closed,
What the
and we're
fuck
still
was
seeing
the
slowdowns
jam up?
from the 412 to Brock Street. 2 left lanes are
Hold up.
blocked.
There's no
Curtis
hold
Road,
up.
2 left lanes are
There's
blocked
no-
off too. So most of these construction spots now
Does
are
this
bringing you
get
down to a
stuck up,
single
jammed
lane.
up and stuff?
Traffic spotters saying sometimes you're on the shoulder, so you're just not going
Yeah,
fast tonight.
sometimes.
Things to the 412 on the westbound 401. It's a nasty one. It's very
Did he
slow.
try to tell you
And then
about
Kennedy
shrimp?
and the collectors heads up, 2
Dozen
left
different
lanes are
ways
blocked
to
through there.
tell
It's
you
not
just hung
too
up.
bad. And at the 427,
Sometimes you're on the
surprisingly,
shoulder.
just the left lane is open, but
Left
the
to right,
surprise
though,
is it's
like,
not causing any
beer.
slowdowns. It's usually
I
a
think I got
nightmare.
one of those now.
but everything's pretty good through there. Southbound 404, we have construction. It's making it a slow go on and off from south of the 407 to south of Steeles. Northbound 427 on and off slowdowns, not up to highway speed between the 407 and Highway 7 with the right lane closed. Satisfy your need for nature at Royal Botanical Gardens. Outdoor gardens and trails are open and bursting with color. Only in Burlington and Hamilton.
So
Plan your
bad.
day at
So
rbg.ca.
bad
Your
vibes.
next
All these
report is at
people's
11:51
dawns.
with the forecast. Here's
Look at me,
Natasha
finally,
Rizzo.
High pressure keeping away the clouds. We've got
You
12 degrees
hate me.
tonight. It's going to be
You
another
get mad
sunny
every
day
time that
tomorrow. In
happens.
fact, every single
Like
day
I
is going
did
to be
something,
sunny.
like I snuck
The
into your
temperature
house and
slowly
petted your
rising.
dog at
23
night
degrees
to
on
make him
Tuesday
like,
and
oh, I'm
27
stuck in
on
the bed.
Wednesday
That
with the
doesn't make no
humidity staying
sense.
low. Overnight tonight, we're down to low
You hate
12
me, your
degrees.
dog likes me.
Downtown Toronto.
I trust my
Right now,
dog's
we've
good
got
inside,
clear
but
skies
that
sitting
is
at
just
15
about
degrees at
animals.
Pearson, clear at 17.
That's why I got this weird genetically modified thing
South
that
of the
doesn't
border,
exist in
public
nature.
health officials in
Can't
Los
breathe on
Angeles
its own.
County say they have discovered 1,000
Well, I
local
don't care if it
restaurants
dies,
over
because
the
I'm taking it
weekend
like a TV
that weren't
set.
following the county's coronavirus safety regulations. Those regulations
You
introduced back
donate
on
the
May
20
12
bucks
include
minimum to get
face
the
coverings
taxes.
for all
You
employees,
got the
offering
animals in the
disposable menus
front
or
step,
digital
whatever the
menus,
fuck you
and
want
other
to do.
disinfecting measures. The
This
health
one doesn't
director,
worship me
Dr. Barbara
properly.
Ferrer, noted
It
people
doesn't
still have
respond when I
confusion,
speak to it,
concerns,
and you
and
don't
hadn't
enunciate or
quite
speak
made
a
the
language.
changes
That's the
deemed
dog's problem.
necessary.
Look, it's
It's
answering
unclear
me.
if the restaurants were issued
I
warnings.
swear to God,
Los
these
Angeles
people's animals
County
will
accounts
answer
for
me and
nearly
not
half
them.
of that
Because
state's
they're
overall
idiots. Not because
cases and
I'm
nearly
doing anything
60% of
special.
that state's COVID-19 related deaths. 680 News Time,
You saw the
11:44.
spider, right? I didn't do anything like that happen. I do that for all of you if you'd stop smashing them.
Chatted It Matters. Thanks to the incredible support of RBC, we're focusing on the part of the Canadian economy, small businesses. Press Ontario has to shift service from
10 years at least. That's happened a lot of times, but never twice that I can recall.
customers with a slow website.
For every second that you are
It's so long
delayed,
it
you're going
takes
to
for
get a
shit like that to
20% drop
happen.
in conversions. And it was taking 3 seconds to load, which was last out of their peer set of 5 competitors.
How will it go? My tech guy and Billy, what's going to happen with their website, and we need to change everything.
Oh,
Download Chatted It Matters
they're
wherever you get your
cannibals too. They
podcasts.
take care of
And
their
thanks again to
overpopulation
RBC for your
themselves. They're
support.
crazy, these
Small
spiders.
business matters.
Oh, it's weird. It's almost disturbing, but they eat each other.
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
It is 17 degrees
And I'm sure they know
clear.
the
Good
difference
evening from the
because when you
6
see them
News
walking across
broadcast
the
center
webs,
in
you'll see
downtown
them touch
Toronto.
it,
I'm
feel
Kate
it's walking
I'm
across.
Scott Brett here. The top
If
stories
it's
right
anything
now.
else, they attack it. If it's
Toronto
a spider,
and
they
Peel
leave it
still
alone.
not moving
So I know they're doing it on
into stage 2
purpose.
of reopening. Several other Ontario regions getting the green light as of Friday, though, including Niagara and York, which means patios there will start to reopen. Meantime, the city is still preparing for eateries to welcome back customers in Toronto. The mayor announcing the Cafe TO program, which will remove bylaws, fees, and other obstacles to opening new patios and extending existing ones.
Because they're all going to go out and hang out because
After
twice as many
sports,
people are
there's
going
been
to
a lot
hang
of
out now. No, the
messages
same number are going to hang
about
out.
And the
Okay,
study
where are they getting
finds
the money from?
the
Oh, we need the
implementation of
capacity.
mandatory masks
Oh,
does lower the spread of COVID-19.
we're looking at a biodrome situation. That's what the guy said. And
Here is Rob Wong.
MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred telling ESPN that he is not confident that we will get a baseball season in 2020, adding if there's no dialogue between the league and its players, there's real risk of that happening. Blue Jays broadcaster Dan Shulman lays out how we got here.
The players weren't going to budge off prorated pay. They've gotten their butts kicked by the owners time after time, and this was the hill they were going to die on, and they decided they weren't going to budge off it.
In response, PA head Tony Clark said in a statement that players are disgusted that after Manfred unequivocally told players and fans that there would 100% be a season, he has decided to go back on his word, and that this has always been about extracting additional pay cuts from the players. Fresh off a Super Bowl appearance, 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan signed a new 6-year contract that takes him through 2025. Meantime, Dallas Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott has tested positive for the coronavirus, but is feeling okay, according to his agent. Reports say several players from the Cowboys and Houston Texans have contracted the virus. It's another honor for Canadian soccer star Alphonso Davies. The 19-year-old was named Bayern Munich's Player of the Month for May. The award comes just 3 days after Davies won the Bundesliga Rookie Award for May. Sports at 15 and 45 past the 3-hour or anytime at sportsnet.ca/590.
Save the world. Wear a mask. All of us at CanadaMaskSupply.ca thank you for doing your part to protect yourself and those around you by wearing a face mask or face shield. Now we offer a family convenience pack of masks and hand sanitizer. And a commercial
because those things don't go together. The mask will trap molds and
and
things that the
shields.
sanitizer
Both
will not
value
kill.
priced.
Visit our website at
Oh, better sanitize. Oh, good, you deserved it.
for all the details.
Now, when the alcohol evaporates, there's no telling where it is.
Different isn't rub it over your hands. Different is just new. Staying at home, we've all learned new ways to shop. Some more convenient than before, like having everything delivered, curbside pickups, virtual consultations, and shopping in person, but with a few safety protocols. Buying a car is no different. Car dealerships are open.
All these idiots actually thought they were in charge. They were going to tell the government how to handle it.
Buying a car online is more convenient.
It's been here a while.
You have great new options.
There's been an army here longer than the country. It's called the militia. Brackets Canada.
Toronto pediatrician Dr. Dina Kulik tells 680 News we're learning new things about COVID-19 every day. A new study has found when looking at northern Italy and New York City that the implementation of mandatory masks lowers the spread of COVID-19.
And that potentially it's not spread as much on droplets, which is what we've been saying all along, but perhaps it's actually much more of an airborne transmission. It changes a lot about how we think about the prevention of this. Of course, we want to keep maintaining hand hygiene.
You think that fire cares that I looked up to look at
These authors also believe about 70,000 cases were prevented in northern Italy.
You think the fire cares?
Police have issued a new appeal for information leading to the arrest of a suspect wanted in connection with a 2018 shooting at a Scarborough playground. Two sisters aged 5 and 9 were shot and injured in a popular residential complex in the McCowan Road and Alton Towers Circle area on June 14th. Two people involved have been arrested and charged, but police say a third suspect, Daquan Robertson, remains at large. Inspector Jim Gonzalez says the reward for information that could lead to his capture has been substantially increased from $50,000 to $75,000.
Not looking for any evidence to help convict him. No one has to testify. Simply, we want him arrested, and if somebody provides a tip that leads to his arrest, they will be eligible for the $75,000 reward, and they can remain anonymous. But again, our message to the people that are helping him is that don't help him. This is a dangerous individual, and we're seeking your help in getting him arrested and taking him off the streets where potentially he can.
Oh, did this guy get shot in the head?
There will be additional advertising, including billboards and bus shelter ads, and a digital ad truck appealing for information in the case. Canadians being offered a buffet of online videos, crafts, even a stop-motion animation app to celebrate Canada Day from home.
In these unusual times, federal officials have released details of how July 1st will go down this year without the usual festivities on Parliament Hill. Canadian Heritage, the department in charge of planning the Canada Day show, has put together a range of online activities that are available now. There will be videos posted closer to the big day.
Oh, I don't you get a better signal, better than that. I can hear that song what it is, but YouTube
show will be broadcast, headlined by country singer Paul Brett, and a 2-hour evening show will feature singers including Alanis Morissette and Avril Lavigne, and bands Radio and the Sheepdogs. Terry Pedro, the Canadian Press, Ottawa.
Time on 51. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Let's check in with Craig Gear.
This report is brought to you by 407 ETR. So construction of their eastbound 401 approaching Guelph line to just east of it. They've got the right lane locked off. So it's a little slower than normal through there. The ramp 2 Guelph line's closed. Southbound Guelph line ramp to the east 401 block. Mississauga Road ramps to the eastbound 401 shut down.
Keep the windows rolled down while you're driving. Yeah, so every idiot that pops at every stoplight is going to blow in your window. But it'll stop the guy in the back reading out down the front. Yeah, the front.
We have a slowdown from the 412 to Brock Street. Only the right lane's open. And then also through Curtis Road, only the right lane's open, but it's not terrible through this construction zone. Westbound 401, it's still heavy from west of Dixon to approaching the 412. A slew of ramps are shut down to and from the westbound 401, including the southbound Port Union ramp, that's closed. The Nielsen and the Markham Road ramps to the westbound 401 shut, and the ramp to Markham and McCowan has been closed as well, too. We're seeing at the 427 only the left lane open, but surprise, surprise. Shocker, seriously, it's moving nicely here on the westbound 401 underneath the 427. It's been a long time.
427
southbound 404 construction in between the 407 and Shepherd. They've got the 2 left lanes closed. It's not too bad, just a little bit of a delay from south of the 407 to about south of Steeles. Northbound 427 is the right lane closed between the 407 and Highway 7. 407 ETR is proud to be United Way's first corporate partner in Canada to make a multi-year investment, sending $4 million to help the GTHA recover from COVID-19. Your next report is at 12:01 with the forecast. Here's Natasha
airborne virus, you morons.
Clear and comfortable. We will start to increase the heat and humidity late in the weekend into the Father's Day weekend. We are down to 12 degrees tonight. Sunshine all week long. Tuesday's high 23 degrees. Wednesday 27. Thursday 28 degrees. And then we start talking humidex by Friday. 31 degrees, feeling like 35. Next chance for showers will come late afternoon on Saturday with a better chance on Father's Day in the afternoon with a risk of thunderstorms. Tonight we're down to a low of 12 degrees.
Downtown Toronto right now. We've got 15 degrees, 6:80 news time.
Well, this looks for Ebola. It's so bad they won't even give it to the guys dying of Ebola. So it's not really an Ebola drug, is it? Well, I want it for COVID. Well, you can have it for COVID, but that don't mean it's going to work for COVID. That's not how drugs work. They don't study in medical school? Vaccines, drugs.
You have built up equity value in your home. With Capital Direct, equity equals flexibility for homeowners. Flexibility to finance your business. Flexibility to renovate your home, or flexibility to pay off other bills like credit cards or property taxes.
The medical
if you've got something you would like to take care of, call Capital Direct today at 1-800-NEW-CAPITAL and see what's available for you.
Oh, what happens if you complain? Oh, well, tell them they might not be a member anymore.
To getting the answers to what you need to know.
Oh, you don't have the authority to lock them off or anything? Oh.
If you have a question, ask it at
It's weird that you think that sex offenders keep gravitating towards these jobs working with the vulnerable.
680 News.
Except they've done studies that show you
the Retirement Homes Authority has issued to revoke the license of the Rossland Retirement Residence in Hamilton. That's the site of the city's deadliest COVID-19 outbreak. The decision comes after, quote, careful review and consideration based on information gathered during inspections, complaints, and reports from both staff and the public. In a statement earlier today, Ontario NDP leader Andrea Horvath described the Rossland as a house of horrors, not a home. The privately owned home was evacuated May 15th. The majority of the residents being transported to hospital following an outbreak that infected 64 of 66 people living there and 22 staff members. In 60 seconds, we'll check in at the business center.
680 News Time, 11:55.
Rogers is working with over 150 hospitals across Canada, extending Wi-Fi coverage and raising donations for frontline workers to ensure the most important connections can always be made.
And I'll hustle.
I'm tired. I'm not burned out no energy. I don't have enough energy to start the machine.
Because that's how we move forward together. To help support our frontline workers, donate today at frontlinefund.ca.
And that's the difference between ectomorph and a method is that I don't burn off on my muscle.
I'm not crying, there's just dust in my eye, guy. Visions Electronics has something super for your special guy. Deals for dads store-wide. Huge savings on TVs to home theater, big bad car audio, laptops to cameras to drones. All at prices that'll make your dad so proud for shopping so smart. With online and curbside pickup options. Deals for dads from Visions Electronics. See the online flyer at visions.ca.
680 News Time, 11:56.
Now your business report. Here's Richard Southern.
Good evening. Just like a legal thriller that may have once shown on one of its silver screens, Cineplex said it's taking Cineworld to court after the British theater chain backed out of a $2.1 billion takeover of Cineplex.
Is that like a
Cineworld said late Friday that Cineplex breached terms of the merger agreement, pointing towards a deterioration in Cineplex's business. But Cineplex claims the agreement explicitly excludes any outbreaks of illness or other acts of God. So it'll be up to a judge to decide this one. Meantime, Cineplex says it's inching towards a gradual reopening of its theaters, starting with its ones in Alberta later this month. At first, Cineplex says it will start showing all movies previously released titles. They're going to have reserved seating in every auditorium to make sure there is distance between everyone. The showtimes will be staggered to reduce congestion.
To build a refinery.
Cinemas which serve food and alcohol won't resume operations as part of the initial phase. So the Flex stock tumbled 16.7% to $11.50 the share. The broader markets, though, had a happy ending. It was a winning Monday. The TSX closing up 103 points to 15,359. Shopify helping matters. The e-commerce giant up 8.3% to $1,093 as it inked a partnership deal with Walmart in the States. The Dow up 157 points to 25,763. The U.S. Central Bank today said it will start buying individual corporate bonds. That boosted the mood. S&P up 0.8%. NASDAQ up 137 points, or 1.4%. Canadian dollar up to 73.75 cents. U.S. The top stories are next on 680 News.
Your home is your sanctuary. The hot weather means your air conditioner needs to work.
Country that doesn't have a facility to import it. Our chips don't exist yet. You didn't build the export facility yet, and you cannot get the approval for it. Well, Tony said you can't. Oh, that story gets appeared from the media too. All those government grants of the Indian Capital Trust money. They know that, so they're not going to let us here. Mind us to get bribed with our money. Oh yeah, these white people are getting bribed with the government, whatever, the government's money. They don't have money.
Excellence Awards believes that great accomplishments with the
taxes, pay interest.
Nominations for top community builder, best
you do the math that way, but that's not how it works.
Professional, as well as small and overall business.
Budget process creates money.
MightySummit.com and nominate your favorite business.
It's not the United States.
Deadline is June 28th.
Local news, weather, and traffic as it happens.
680 News.
Not the world from anybody.
Checking some regional conditions in Brampton. It is 17 degrees and clear.
She wants it floating around the whole
15 degrees and clear. Richmond Hill, 17 degrees, no clouds in the sky. Oshawa, 13 and clear. Downtown Toronto, 16 degrees and clear. 17 Houston. The News Watch never stops. 680 News is CMTR AM Toronto. 680 News time, midnight.
Number one for breaking news, traffic, and
that brings us to the British Empire. Or little Nick grows up and become king, maybe that'll pay back. Oh, so what's the bloodline going to be, homeboys? You all hang out at Windsor Castle all day. What's it going to survive?
The region heads into stage 2 of the province's reopening plan. Markham Mayor Frank Scarpitti is calling on the Ford government to make masks mandatory where physical distancing is not possible.
That burger or pint on a Toronto patio could come sooner than you think, as early as July 1st. Registration for Cab ATO is now open. An elderly black couple involved in a violent confrontation.
You wear masks, you people spit all the time. Why do you think I went till 36 or whatever without getting B19?
Oh, the TTC plans to give out free Presto cards this summer to get people riding the rocket again amidst record low numbers.
Timing has been perfect.
Continues to be dire with regards to a 2020 MLB
I killed a bug. He got his revenge on me.
Back Ezekiel Elliott
has somebody else's blood. That's the
Sports at 15. American markets kick off the week in the green, with the Dow coming back from a more than 760-point drop, and more earnings and economic data is on the way today.
680 News time, 12:01.
Traffic and weather together on the one Pit Gear.
And it's not a terrible drive out there. We do have some slow spots, but a lot of the ones
that
were
a terrible drive out there. This is a good
before
positive for Toronto.
Anymore, but
so like, horrible.
It's just slightly
he's always talking the negative, like
east of it, where they're working in the right lane, and then it's still heavy though through Mississauga Road. 2 right lanes closed down to a single left lane open. We have the ramp 2 Guelph line, southbound Guelph line ramp 2, the east 401, and both the Mississauga Road ramps, eastbound 401 shut down here for maintenance. At the Allen, the express to collector transfer has been closed. Things aren't looking too bad now between the 412 and Brock Street. Just a lot of construction.
That wasn't the same thing.
Here. 2 left lanes are blocked off. We only have the right lane open, and then through Curtis Road as well. Only the right lane is open through there, but it's quite spaced out. You've got lots of room in between you and the vehicle in front, so things aren't too bad now. Westbound 401 though, really heavy still west of Dixon to approaching the 412. should probably start to see this one start to ease off a little bit, getting to be that time. We have moving maintenance now on the westbound 401, blocking the bunch of lanes through Salem and then Westney. They're going to be snaking along westbound on the 401 doing some moving maintenance. At Kennedy and the collectors, 2 left lanes are blocked off. No delays, so not seeing any problems. The ramps that are closed are the Bowmanville ramp, the whole ramps to the westbound 401. Ramp off the highway to Curtis Road closed, southbound 418 ramp to the west 401 shut down, southbound Port Union ramp to the west 401 closed, along with the Nielsen and the Markham Road ramps. The ramp off the highway to Markham and McAllen has also been closed off. If you are southbound on the 404, things aren't looking too bad. We have some construction though south of the 407 through to south of Shepherd. And eastbound Steeles ramp to the southbound 410, that's been closed off. Looking at a crash out there too, and that's on the northbound 427 at Finch. Right lanes closed, but no delays. Next report at 12:11, and with the forecast, here's Adam Stiles.
Sun, and more sun. That's the story this week. Daytime highs today heading up to the mid-20s. Winds are going to be fairly light. They'll be coming in the afternoon out of the east-southeast up to about 30 kilometers per hour. It's wall-to-wall blue sky with a high of 25.
Right now in downtown Toronto, 16 degrees and clear at 17 at Pearson. 6-8 years till at 12:03.
Toronto and the region need more
never figure out which radio is which name. So one of them gets fired and they replace one and go, oh, that one's that one because this is the new one. You guys don't brand yourselves at all.
As the mayor of Markham wants to see masks made mandatory in all indoor spaces to stop the spread of COVID-19. 680's Phil Martino has more.
Markham Mayor Frank Scarpitti says because there's not consistency when it comes to who can move to stage 2, he's calling on the province to make it mandatory to wear masks in enclosed indoor spaces where physical distancing is not possible.
Those don't matter. The province layers on that additional protection for everyone.
Mayor Mauricio Bevilacqua says he too would support the idea of making masks mandatory in Ontario.
Take all necessary precautions to safeguard your own life and also the lives of others.
Ministry of Health spokesperson Haley Chazen says they strongly urge individuals to wear a mask or facial covering when physical distancing is a challenge, but the province has not made